Mine. Yours.
Excuse me.
Before we see that movie, but for now, see Jurassic World, because this transitions to us perfectly. So we rant about Superman here today. We did. I'm sure there's some other stuff if I really think about it I could cover, but honestly, I'm kind of done at this point. I wanted to do this because, it's an elephant in the room. That's a big movie coming out. I'm a DC channel. So, of course, I have to acknowledge this movie. Okay. I can't not do it. But I think going forward, especially this week after this, I'm done really talking about Superman, Superman 2025. And here's what I'm going to say what to do going forward. So this week, look, we all have freedom of speech. I get that. But this is what I'm recommending. If you want the Snyderverse, which, I think the majority of my audience does. I mean, maybe I'll get new audience that's not a big fan of the Snyderverse. But if you do want the Snyderverse, here is the thing. I'm going to recommend that you do not talk about Superman at all after today. Maybe tomorrow, one last thing, if you have one final stream to do, fine. But I really recommend after this, do not engage with the posts. Do not engage with the haters. I've made this mistake myself. Nothing gets accomplished by it. Do not engage with any of that stuff because we don't want to give this movie any more engagement. I did my stream talking about why I'm not supporting this movie, but we're done right now. After this, we should be done. But here's also the thing too. Here's what you also got to remember. Gunny Poo, he titled the movie Superman, not Superman Legacy. He did that so that any mention of Superman will be counted as engagement towards him. So that being said, hashtag or no hashtag, as hard as it is, do not say Superman at all unless it is part of the hashtag format, so it will be counted together. Henry Cavill Superman. Aside from that, do not say Superman because that will count towards engagement for Gunny Poo. You can say Superman with like the asterisk over the U so that it doesn't count as Superman. You can just say Man of Steel, Man of Tomorrow, pronounce that right, Last Son of Krypton. You can give him all sorts, Boy Scout, whatever. But it's important to focus on, this channel always supports this campaign. Sell ZSJL to Netflix, sell Snyderverse to Netflix. Engage with Netflix. Show Netflix our demand. Do not give Warner Brothers the engagement because right now, all they have done is they've fucked us over one too many times. Do not give them the engagement. Make them desperate enough. Because look, obviously Netflix will have to engage with Warner Brothers for sell to happen. But let Netflix do that. And let's not give Warner Brothers the engagement in the meantime. So it's really important not to, do not engage with this movie. This is what I'm recommending. Again, if you really want to, you do have freedom of speech. But if your mission is to get the Snyderverse, I'm really recommending you follow this. That's what I'm going to say. And yes, exactly. Exactly, Socks. And before I hand this over to Josh, I'm just going to say, this channel in the meantime will cover DC still, okay? This is a DC channel. There will be ways to cover DC. I'm not going to cover the box office, though, until next month, and that's if it fails, I'll cover the box office. I mean, eventually I'll cover it. Like, once it does what it does and the engagement doesn't matter, I'll cover it next month just for it to be in the news, whether it succeeds or fails. But I'm not going to, even if it fails drastically this weekend, I'm not going to cover it still because I don't want to give it the engagement. Not now. Next month, I may be a little more flexible about covering it because it's news I do need to cover. But I'm not, other DC I will cover. I'm not going to cover this, but other DC I'll cover. I'll cover the Snyderverse. I'll cover classic DC if it comes up. I may even cover Sandman. I kind of watched that. I haven't watched that, but there will be DC I cover. And I'm going to Six Flags, and I'm going to see going to DC Universe Land. Six Flags Great America in Gurnee, Illinois, and going to DC Universe Land, and I may talk about that on the channel. So there will be some DC I cover on this channel. And by the time I plan on going, Superman will likely fail. But again, rules of engagement. Be positive. do not engage with Warner Brothers, do not mix the hashtags. I don't think I said those in order, but those are the rules of engagement. Follow them. If you want to get the Snyderverse, this is what I'm saying. I'm recommending is the way. Do not engage with Superman at all. Do not mention the name Superman, even if you're referring to Henry Cavill, because that will count as engagement for Warner Brothers for the movie. So, Josh, I talked a lot. Your thoughts?
I mean, why would you want to see that kitty slide in the like when you type in Superman, you're gonna see a kitty slide. Why would you want to see that? I don't know. And I think if you type in hashtag Clark Kent, it even comes up. So if you see that kitty slide, run. If you know, you know. But no, I just wanted to reinforce the ROEs, rules of engagement, which may or may not rub some people the right way, but those who are disciplined, who are organized, who are effective, like this community, know that the only reason why we are still here and have a chance is because of ideas that are bulletproof by two men, Skywalker the Jedi, Super Sky as I like to call him, Superman of the Cell Movement, and Leon, Lieutenant Leon, Batman of the Zack Snyder's Cell Movement. They saw what has happened in the past with hashtag release and everything in between, refined this movement and filtered through so many to have this core that has continued to stay the course. And there's been trials, there's been tribulations, there's been friends and loved ones lost along the way, right? But we are still here. And what are we if we were to give up? Who are we, right? We cannot forget about those who we lost and who we are fighting for. We know what is at the end of those credits, right? And who are we to give up? We disrespect, we dishonor that person's memory. So therefore, we stay the course because this movement, because of ideas from two men who have gotten so much hope because of the idea it was bulletproof. We have cultivated a community of fans and we are reaching new heights. I'm sorry to other movements, but there's not really a lot of Forbes articles written about your movement. There's not a lot of engagement happening with that movement when you're talking to a company. Still make your noise. Me and Bat Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, Bat Dan, but we support all the campaigns, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't do restore or make the Batfleck movie myself, but I do support those campaigns. And I'll even go as far as Josh is saying, when Make the Batfleck movie does their own campaign, I support that campaign the Cell way. I'll write out Make the Batfleck movie with the Cell hashtags, which Make the Batfleck movie has shown support for doing. So,
hey, you know I'm a little invested in hashtag release of something else, right? Just a little bit. Got my initials on it. So yeah, but the idea that's bulletproof encapsulates that. This is encapsulated with hashtag sell ZSJ to Netflix, sell Snyderverse to Netflix. By using that and talking to Netflix, we are talking to everyone because everyone wants that Netflix money. Netflix is dominating the industry, okay? So, all I have to say, I appreciate you guys taking on and continuing the conversation at the cool table. I trust you guys to talk about these things. Everyone else, do not hashtag kitty slide. It's two hashtag. Sell ZSG to Netflix, sell Snyderverse to Netflix. We stay the course. Hashtag sells the way. That's all I got to say.
exactly, Josh. Exactly. And I think Henry Cavill's Superman is okay to hashtag too, because that does not count towards engagement for WB, but it's only two hashtags at a time.
Yes.
But I'll put like, here's a good rule of thumb. Test it out. Just put the tweet, and if you see that, if you do the hashtag and you get that kitty slide, just don't post it. Delete the draft. You know, you can test stuff out on drafts, see how they look. That's okay to do. But July 11th, come out with Celsius jail to Netflix, sell Snyderverse to Netflix. You can change that with Henry Cavill Superman as a hashtag. I think that's been approved by the cell leaders as far as I know. But other than that, though, support the campaign. And if you have to work that day, they're called scheduled tweets. Schedule those tweets. I mean, I have a half day that day, but I'm still probably gonna do some scheduled tweets because I wanna enjoy the nice weather in my afternoon off, not just do hashtag stuff. So be on the lookout for that. There's a lot of great stuff. And yes, exactly, Sox. Save Daredevil. 7 years. 7 years. And Sox and I are going to next review Daredevil Born Again. So.
And shout out to Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, who support the Snyderverse movement as well. We are the reason for hashtag Save Daredevil, which worked. So just saying.
Exactly, Josh. Exactly. So be on the lookout. I'm sure Sky and Leon have a lot of great plans for this weekend. This is going to be a good weekend, guys, because whether or not Superman fails, our mission does not change, okay? We want the Snyderverse because as Sky says, if Superman fails, it's because of its own merit, not because of the Cell campaign, not because of our ask for the Snyderverse. We just want to see the story we love properly concluded. Properly concluded. We're not asking for any other universe to fail. So again, don't engage, just support,